I have always been a creative person, but within the past few years, I've gained this burning desire to create art. I have searched many ways to satisfy this hunger, whether that be through short movies, drawing, music, video games, writing, or even this YouTube channel. Having this artistic drive, I believe, has led me to learn a lot of different things, right? Like making this model, or that video game design. I've tried so many different softwares and stuff on how to do it, so you kind of pick up some cool things and you learn more stuff. Like any hobby, it consumes your time, and since I only really realized I enjoy doing these things recently, I mean, when I was younger I did a lot of these things. I've always been kind of creative, I'd say, and I'm only getting older and losing time, right? I have a limited amount of time, I kind of have a lot of free time now, but in the future I won't. I have to go do stuff. I enjoy many different creative endeavors too, and in doing that, I'm not really good at anything, and it would be smarter to focus on something and then fully transition later once I'm really good. But I like doing multiple stuff at once, and I get bored, and so I'm not going to do that. If I were to define what art is, I would say it is creative stuff people make to appeal to the senses. And now that's a very vague definition, but I mean, I don't know. I think you just have to call it as you see it. To get good at anything, you must practice, and I've always found that practicing certain things sucks. I think my aversion to studying has slowed my progress at learning and drawing. All throughout my life, I have never studied for anything. Through school, I don't study. I don't do that. I just do good. But now I need to study. I mean, to learn a lot of things, you have to kind of just sit down and learn, especially drawing, right? And not really knowing how to do that, I think that has an effect. But I mean, you have to deal with it, right? And so I do believe that you can improve just by drawing and just by kind of drawing what you like, and that's kind of what I do, and that's how I hope to improve by doing that. But I think putting in the time and actually studying, learning anatomy, kind of observing stuff and learning about light or whatever, right? I don't know what you do. We're drawing boxes, right? That's always, you draw boxes. I think that's probably a better habit, and you'd probably learn faster doing that. So I haven't just been drawing. I've also been learning the guitar, and now the guitar compared to drawing are very different things, right? Learning music is very strange because it's mostly, I mean, especially on the guitar, I know, it's the same thing. It's repetition, right? You just have to get better and better and faster, more accurate. Fingers are stronger, so you can do the hammer-ons and pull-offs. And, I mean, I guess you could learn music theory. I mean, I am. But the learning only really takes place after you get really good at the basics. And, I mean, that's probably the same for art, too, right? I mean, you have to get good at drawing boxes before you can do other things. And so they're probably more similar than I give them credit for. It's just, they're different things. They're one's sound and one's visual. These two creative endeavors are very interesting when compared to writing. So I'm also a big writer. I'm always trying to write books and stuff. And I would say writing is the most easiest thing to pick up, because in school you're already learning how to write. You're already learning words. We all speak words, and so I think that's pretty easy, right? When you're a kid, you tell stories, and so you already kind of have practice just in reality in doing that. And so I think that's probably the easiest to pick up. It's just putting words on a page. Now there is more to writing than the words on a page, but learning the tactics behind writing isn't as important, because I think you can probably just learn the tactics as you write. You can kind of just try and figure it out, because we all live in words, right? You just kind of read it and you go, oh, this is what I like, I don't like this, and you kind of just repeat over and over, because it's directly there, right? If you don't like a word, you change it. After further thought, writing is hard. It only seems easy. It would probably be easier if I read books, but no one reads anymore. But I mean, I do like to read, but it always feels like you should be doing more with your time, right? Reading this seems like a waste, but it isn't, right? Because all I do is waste the time, is making stupid videos and sitting around watching YouTube, right? It's not like I'm doing anything productive, and books are probably more productive than what I'm doing. But you always try to appeal to what you could be doing and what you won't, and so that's what you do. I believe that with many things in life, the idea is more enjoyable than reality. If you never do something, you can say you would have done it and you would have been good at it. But if you actually do the reality of the thing, the fact that you're bad and that you fail, it shows and it's apparent. People don't like that. This same concept happens in other things in life too. I always hear it when they talk about love, right? Like in the movie or whatever, Obsession, right? Where it's like the idea of the person is more, you fall in love with that rather than the actual person, just the idea of it. And I think that applies to, practice and probably other things in life, but especially with the arts and whatever, where you can say, oh, I have this idea, it's a great idea, you know. When you try, it's hard, right? Like, I've been working on a book and I like have this great idea, but you know, putting it on the page is hard, and that's where the practice, that's where the struggle, and that's where the learning comes in. So in order to fulfill what you want to do, you must accept that you will fail. It will take time, you'll struggle, but you have to continue to try. That's the lesson, right? You have to continue to try, you have to just keep working, keep practicing, keep studying, keep just throwing yourself into that ring, and fail and learn and do different things, and you just have to keep going. That's the struggle of it, and that's what you have to keep doing, because if you give up, then you fail, and that's the only final failing, right? You know, as long as you keep going, you can never fail. Every day I see things that I would love to make. You know, you see I watch TV, or you see a picture, or you hear music, and you go, woo-wee, I wish I could do something like that. Or, you know, anything else. Or you watch a YouTube video, because they're always doing the cinematography, whatever, right? And I think in today's world, people are exposed to way more of that stuff, you know, with the internet and just... Yeah, I think just the internet, that with computers and whatever, you see all this more crazy stuff that you're like, I wish I could do that, I could do this, you know? Oh, this guy's building a boat, you go build a boat, right? Like, there's so many more things that you're exposed to, and that makes you want to do a lot more things. And, I mean, maybe that was true in the medieval ages, right? I don't know, I'm not a time traveler, you know? Maybe you see, you go to the tavern or wherever, there's some guy with the lute, and you're like, whoa, I want to play the lute, but, I mean, you gotta go farming or whatever, right? You got more important things to do, but nowadays, you know, you just go to Walmart, and you can kind of spend your time, you fill them with surrogate activities, which are activities that you don't need to do, but you just do them to fill time, and so you have struggle, right? People were meant to go be hunting mammoths or whatever, you know, and to constantly be, you know, needing for the survival. You gotta constantly be working, but nowadays it's like you don't really do that much. I mean, some people are, but like you're not really doing, there's you know, especially now at the age we live in, right? You're not really doing much. You have to fill your time with other stuff, and so that's why, you know, learning and to draw and all these music and, you know, the arts, you know, everybody can do that nowadays, and I think that's really cool. But if you see all this stuff and then you go try it and you fail, then sometimes I think, you know, you get in your mind of, oh, I just wasn't born for this, or oh, you know, only some people can do this, not everybody can do this. And I mean, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but that is probably true. I think there are, you know, some people just have the eye and the brain. But if you think like that, and if you think, oh, only some people can do this, you're never going to be able to do it. And in order to be able to do it, you have to kind of like lie to yourself. You have to trick yourself maybe, or maybe I'm lying to myself and saying not everybody can do it. But you have to then do like 17-dimensional psychology on yourself in order so you can do it, and so then you will be able to do it. And in that, you must believe that it's true, and then you can do everything, and it's fine. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to link my Scratch and Itchio pages in the description if you want to play some of my video games that I've made. I made these, I mean, when I was like really young, but then also, I mean, not too recently, but still pretty recently. And so, I mean, I think they're pretty good games. I mean, the formatting, so there might be kind of a pain to play or download, and they're not very advertised well, so that's why no one's played them. But, I mean, they're quality games. I mean, like, I made an entire Pokemon game with, like, a couple gyms and an Elite Four, and I mean, it's a functional Pokemon game, so go play that. I mean, it's you know, they're quality games, I'd say. Comment anything you'd like, if anything you want to do. It could be about anything. I don't care. I want to go talk to people. Check out my other videos, subscribe to see when I upload in the future, and I hope to see you in the next one.